Welcome to Coffee and Curveballs. I'm Tommy, and he is Shooter Hunt, coming with you with the class of 26. I know it's early. I know they're freshmen, but we have a pretty good idea of who's where in this landscape of high school baseball. Shooter, how does the list shaping up?
Uh, 250, very modest start for this list. And like you said,
250.
it's very early.
You can't give us 1,000?
No, I mean, we could definitely go further. And that was one of the big things I noticed when doing this was just how many kids are committed already. And it's a hot topic in the baseball world, like, oh, the early recruiting, this is going on, this, that. Since we've started doing the freshmen and since I've been on, this is by far the most that I've seen. And it was nearly half of the top 250. And then probably like 50 or 60 that are committed who are outside that top 250.
Do you think that the COVID year had something to do with this?
I think the COVID year had a lot to do with it because the players on campus got that extra year. Coaches weren't sure what they were doing. The transfer portal came into play. Hey, should we be going after high school guys? I think it really affected the 2023 and 2024 classes. You're still seeing it with some of the 23s who are Division I talent or still waiting to see where they shake up. If this tells us anything, it's telling us that things are going back to the way they were a bit more. Coaches are increasing how much they want to recruit early on. And there's also a rule change that's probably going to come into play where they cannot have any contact. So none of that circumventing the system where they having somebody call them, this and that, that would be eliminated until August 1 going into sophomore year. So I think a lot of guys were trying to commit guys early just to get them before that comes into play.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense too. And with the COVID year, I think a lot of high school kids, once they get that opportunity, they're like, I got to take it because you don't know what's going to happen with the portal and everything. So we're going to get to our top 10, and I am extremely biased because the first kid we're going to talk about is from basically my backyard. It is Alex Harrington from Cathedral Catholic down in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, it's 6'2", 165. He can really run. I hate to say this so young, but there's 5-tool potential just based on the athleticism, the speed, the fact that he can hit from the right side with some power already. It does help. He's from Southern California. They have twice as many big leaguers as any other state. So you're looking at a ton of talent coming out of that region in SoCal and even NorCal. But had tons of success with Team USA, even playing up a year. I'm excited to see what he has. He actually also has a twin brother who's in the top 100 as well. So you can get 2 for 1 there when you go to their games.
Yeah, and I guess Stanford is the what he's got his sights on.
Stanford set on, I mean, shoot, that's a life decision there. That's not just 4 year, that's 40 years to set you up.
Yeah, then you got to call the school. Hey, there's 2 of me, right? We can both go over there. Moving to Nevada, a little bit east of California, with a kid who's got probably the best baseball name you can have. It is Rookie Shepard.
Yeah, a Rookie Shepard, a Vegas kid. I mean this in the nicest way. He's a freak. I mean, athletic-wise, he can really create some torque from the left side. There's power there already. It's a sturdy frame at 5'10", can really run again, can catch, plays shortstop, plays the outfield. He's so dynamic on the field, he's going to find his way in there. But I think few see the ball come off their bat as loud as his does right now, and he might probably the best about it. Probably might be the most feared hitter in the class. He's a name that everybody knows coast to coast in this class. He's only going to get better. He's from Vegas, and Vegas keeps producing nonstop talent. So another big name coming out of Nevada. And then behind him, Keon Johnson, who's a shortstop out of Georgia, who might be the most projectable kid in the class. Again, it's crazy athleticism, big power from the right side. He can do things that others just can't. I think he's only going to get better as things go along. And then similar, Quentin Young, another SoCal kid. He's got major league bloodlines, but he looks the part. It's 6'3", 185. He's going to fill out. Just does not look like a freshman on the field. I'd assume he gets a lot of varsity time this year. Again, all these guys are very talented, huge upside. I'm going to say it again and again. But Quentin Young, a big name there. Grady Emerson from Texas. He's from the Dallas area, Argyle High School. Really, really strong program. I got to see him this fall. It's just a sweet left-handed stroke. It's about as clean as it gets through the zone. Works short to long. There's some lift and power there now, but I think he's going to add even more strength, and that will only get better.
Yeah, our first stop in Florida is at number 6 with Willie Anderson.
Hey, Wilson Anderson,
I'm sorry.
Wilson Anderson, it has a chance to be a special arm. I mean, just the way that works, quick and whippy short. I mean, he plays some shortstop, so the athleticism's there. Right now, that's the top arm that we have on this list. You go through Florida, you know there's going to be tons of talent coming out of there. And it's not just him in that top 100. There's a bunch of guys peppered in there. But right now, I think he may make a big jump this spring. And in the next summer, he will definitely be a guy that hitters do not want to face.
A state that doesn't get a lot of attention baseball-wise is Kansas, but Bo Peterson may give you a reason to stop by.
Yeah, you talk about them not getting much attention. But when you have a guy like Bo Peterson, you get attention in a hurry. He just has that some Steve Nebraska feel to him, the scout where he can pitch, he hops on the mound, big arm talent, close to 90 miles an hour there. But behind the dish, left-handed hitter, he's big 6'2", 185-pound presence with present power and future power. He's committed to Nebraska already, so staying there in the Midwest. But you just don't get stuff coming out of these. Country strong. He has that, almost like that Kansas, the cornfield strong coming out of there from the left side. Kid was born to hit. Probably doesn't even wear batting gloves. But I'm looking forward to seeing him soon.
Hey, cornfield strong going to Nebraska makes a lot of sense. We have him listed at 6'2", 185. A kid who's almost that big, 6'1", 175 out in Florida is Jacob Lombard.
Yeah, Jacob Lombard, Gulliver Prep, coming out of that Miami area. His brother George committed to Vanderbilt, another really talented shortstop. But just the polish and crispness to his all-around game really stands out. He can stick at shortstop. The glove-to-hand ability is kind of what you expect out of that South Florida mix. He can really pick it over there. And then from the right side, there's already some power projection, easy to see there. Everything stays balanced. He slows the game down at a high level. He's a guy that you want to bet on. And then Deion Cole, Georgia product, another Georgia product, looks like a running back on the field. It's compact and strong. He's already a 6'9" runner, produces 97-mile-an-hour exit velocities. The power's there. He's going to be one that you're already hearing about during the spring coming out of the strong Georgia high school landscape.
Yeah, and we're kind of slowly moving north from Florida to Georgia, now to South Carolina to meet Carson Bowman.
Yeah, and Bowman's a big-time lefty. Again, a gold medalist with Team USA as a young buck, but left-hander, 6'2", physical frame, but I still think it's developing a bit more. His pitchability stands out. He can really spin the baseball with multiple breaking balls up into the mid 80s. I expect some more from that coming soon. Obviously, he's in a grouping of some really good young left-handers in this class. He's the first one mentioned on here, but there's definitely some others that are really good. He's a Wake Forest commit.
And make sure you watch all the videos about the 26 class, because as Shooter mentioned, there are a ton of good left-handed pitchers and everything on this list. I just got to ask you to peel the curtain back a little bit here. How much standing on the table and pounding on the table was there making this top 10 list between you and the rest of the staff trying to figure out who should be 1 through 10?
This was definitely the longest that I've spent on it, just because especially at the young age, it's tough to get a true feel for these guys, and we want to present the most credible information with regards to projection, but also some of the right now. How high is their ceiling? How likely are they to reach that ceiling? These are things that go into it. And with all our boots on the ground, guys who have seen them, guys who are getting information, there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes. And that's why we won't extend it too far, just because, hey, let's let it breathe. This is just a rough draft of this group. We're going to present this. We'll check out the guys all spring at preseason events. We'll see what it is leading up to the future games.
Yeah, and I'm sure nobody on social media will complain or argue with this list at all. I'm sure we'll all go over.
It's good that people care about baseball.
Yeah, hey, it's part of the fun. Go ahead, comment down. Let us know what you guys think about the top 10 list, who's missing, who should be higher, etc. Shooter, thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching Coffee and Curveballs.